HOA Karen's situation turned a simple winter storm into the most satisfying lesson in boundaries our neighborhood ever learned. What started as a demand for community use ended with frozen pride, written apologies, and a very quiet street. Before we jump in, like this video, subscribe for more HOA and Karen stories, and hit the hype button so this one reaches everyone who loves real neighborhood drama. Winter hits our area hard. When the snow comes down, it does not play around. Driveways disappear overnight, sidewalks turn into ice traps, and anyone unprepared learns fast. Over the years, I invested in a solid snowblower. It was not cheap, but it saved my back and kept my property safe. I maintained it, stored it properly, and used it responsibly. Karen saw it as a neighborhood asset. She lived 2 houses down and had a long history of treating other people's property like shared resources whenever it suited her. She believed anything visible was negotiable and anything useful should be communal, especially if she did not own it herself. The first heavy snowfall of the season arrived overnight. By morning, the street looked like a white wall. Cars were buried, walkways vanished. I cleared my driveway early and helped an elderly neighbor next door, then parked the blower back in my garage. That was when Karen noticed. She stood watching from across the street, arms crossed, clearly calculating. By mid-morning, she was making her way around the neighborhood, struggling with a plastic shovel that looked like it came free with a children's toy set. Instead of adjusting her plan, she doubled down. Karen decided the snowblower should be used for community benefit. In her mind, ownership did not matter as much as her interpretation of fairness. She expected access without asking properly, without coordination, and without respect for the time and fuel involved. I refused. Not aggressively, not emotionally, simply a firm refusal. The snowblower was personal property. I had already helped where I could. I was not obligated to become unpaid winter maintenance for the entire block. Karen did not take it well. She paced. She complained loudly. She made a show of shoveling while watching my garage like it owed her something. She told neighbors that some people were selfish and unneighborly. She implied HOA consequences without actually having authority. The HOA stayed silent because no rule existed requiring residents to share equipment. That silence frustrated her even more. The snow kept falling. By afternoon, temperatures dropped sharply. Wind picked up. What was manageable earlier became miserable fast. Karen continued shoveling, stopping frequently, clearly exhausted and angry. She glared toward my house repeatedly, expecting guilt to kick in. It didn't. I stayed inside, warm, watching the situation unfold through the window. This was not about punishment, it was about boundaries. Lending equipment once often becomes an expectation forever. If I gave in now, it would never end. Karen's situation worsened. Her driveway remained barely passable. Her frustration turned into desperation. She tried rallying other neighbors, but no one wanted to get involved. Everyone had seen her behavior before. No one volunteered their tools either. Hours passed. Eventually, Karen realized something important. The only way out of her problem was accountability. The entitlement had failed. The pressure had failed. The neighborhood had not turned against me. She needed to change tactics. A written apology was offered. It acknowledged the demand was inappropriate. It recognized the equipment was private property. It promised future respect for boundaries. It was not warm or friendly, but it was clear enough. After receiving it, I reconsidered. I cleared her driveway once. Just once. No announcements, no victory lap, no lectures. The snowblower went back into my garage immediately after. The effect on the neighborhood was immediate. Karen's behavior changed overnight. She stopped making demands. She stopped implying authority. She avoided confrontations. The written apology had done what arguments never could. It forced acknowledgement instead of justification. Neighbors noticed. Word spread quietly, not in a mocking way, but in a relieved one. Someone had finally said no and held the line. The rest of winter passed peacefully. Snow fell again, but no demands followed. People planned better. Some invested in their own equipment, others coordinated respectfully. The unspoken rule became clear. Help was welcome. Entitlement was not. The HOA never got involved because there was nothing to enforce. No rules were broken, no threats were made, no harm was done. Just a boundary upheld. Looking back, the lesson was simple. Generosity is a choice, not an obligation. Community does not mean ownership, and sometimes the most effective response to entitlement is calm refusal, followed by accountability. Karen did not freeze physically. She froze emotionally in the realization that the world does not rearrange itself around her expectations. That moment mattered more than any argument ever could. If you're watching this and dealing with a similar situation, remember this: you are allowed to say no. You are allowed to protect your time, tools, and energy, and respect only comes after boundaries are enforced. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like the video, subscribe for more HOA and Karen stories, and hit the hype button so these real neighborhood dramas keep coming, and comment below to tell us which country you're watching from.